Well, day 16, and we are cutting the last field of Daytona peas. These are the green peas. Really dusty job, but the Macton header absolutely purposely built for this sort of operation. Cutting down really nice and low, and picking up most of the peas. So yields are just about above our average, or sort of the target. Last year pea yields were pretty desperate, but this year they've been back to the sort of totals that we're expecting. We're running at about 3.7 tons a hectare at the moment on these. There's some patches where it's laid and gone down a little bit. They're not quite so good, and then there are other areas where they're all standing up. This is quite a nice little bit here where they're all standing up really well, and there is quite a good, decent yield of peas out here as well as there. So so this is it's actually farm 24 today. Those of you that are into the social media, and I guess if you're watching this you probably are, then do follow the hashtag farm24, run by Farmers Guardian and sponsored by Morrison. So big thank you to them for promoting all the great things about British agriculture and a fabulous industry that we're all involved in. We shall be finishing this field the next sort of hour or so, all things being well. There's some leftover clover here, which is quite interesting. We had this as a bit of a trial field a few years ago where we kept an understory of white clover going through some wheat, some beans and some spring barley as a sort of an undercrop to fix nitrogen and reduce weed pressure, and actually kind of 4 or 5 years later it's still surviving. So it'll be interesting to see what happens when these peas come off. That clover should invigorate when it gets a bit of sunlight on it to be able to spring back into life. So we'll see. This will be destined for a crop of wheat, which will be planted towards the end of September, beginning of October, and then the whole process all starts over again. So this is it, top 9 acres and the last field of peas.